afternoon, y'all. I hope y'all can hear me okay. My husband's cutting grass on the tractor, so maybe a little loud. I'll try to speak up. I wanted to start teaching a few things about homesteading or farming, whatever you're interested in, you know, whether it be home gardening or if you want to start homesteading, don't really have a green thumb, don't really know where to start with tomatoes. That's what our lesson is about today. So we are running a market garden for the first time this year. Tomatoes are doing really well. This is our first succession here. Tomatoes, peppers, tomatoes, more peppers here. And then I started our second succession today, which is peppers, tomatoes, got a few corn growing here. And then we've got more tomatoes and eggplants down these bare looking rows that you see down here. So when you have tomato plants and they're kind of, you know, mid-height like ours are, our trellising system, if you have a question about it, is called a floor weave. I'm fixing to go through and fix all of them, but these are actually supposed to be weaved in and out between each tomato plant. However, we did not make it that far because we've just been crazy busy this summer. So I'm fixing to go through and fix that. So this lesson is about pruning tomatoes. I've already done this row, and then I was like, this would be a good video for learning purposes. So here we have our flowers on our tomato. These are going to produce fruits. All of ours are heirloom variety. They should self-pollinate. We do have plenty of bees and all those things doing their jobs, so it's not an issue for us. However, we do have pests that are moving in. So that's, I don't know if y'all can see that, but those are aphids, little aphid babies, focus, that are already starting to move in because I'm late pruning everything. So when you have foliage, it kind of falls down on itself like this. That gives pests a way to hide. You can't see them. So you have these blooms right here. I like to trim everything that is below your first bloom. So everything off of this main stalk right here is gonna get trimmed off all the way down. All the way down. Like, you're not gonna kill your tomato plant. If you wanna grow more, you can literally shave the leaves off of this, stick it in dirt, and those little hairs will grow a brand new tomato plant. So this is an Amish paste tomato. We only have a couple of these this year, so we're not gonna market garden these. We're just gonna use these for my own personal canning. So I've got all of the, trying to keep it still. I've gotten all of the branches on this main tomato plant cut away. And what we do is chop and drop, and that's where you just cut it off and you leave it to lay. Not only will this draw pests to this instead of on your plants, it will also break down into compost in your soil, which we need badly because this is a new property and the soil is not that great here. We've already spent a lot of time getting our soil where it needs to be to grow this well just this year. If you've never watched our videos before, we moved here last July. We actually moved into our house in August. We immediately got to work on soil health, what we wanted to grow, what we were gonna do, how we were gonna help things along. So some of this is experimental this year. We do not use pesticides, fungicides, anything like that. If it's not natural, we don't use it. For the most part, we pit our pests off with our fingers, or we will use cold pressed neem oil, which is a plant derived substance that people have been using for hundreds, if not thousands of years. I have no idea how old that stuff is, but it does work, especially like this year. If you're having an issue with flea beetles, it works great for those, which has been our main garden pest. Yeah, this is some old damage here from flea beetles. Neem oil will work on tomatoes. Like here is caterpillar damage. Here's, yep, there was a flea beetle. We missed them. Anyways, Flea beetles don't care if it's a tomato or a pepper plant. They will eat the leaves off of stuff. If your plant is really small, for example, these tomato plants that I just planted today are very small. They're yellowing, so they had to go on the ground. All right, so if flea beetles get on these and it's not managed, it will kill these plants. It's gonna be hard for them to kill the larger tomatoes and peppers that we already have established, but the smaller plants, if you have a bad enough infestation, they will wipe it out. So you got to stay on top of things like that. But for the most part, trimming your tomato plants, these are tomatillos. I don't really worry about trimming those up too much because they flower everywhere and they're super hardy. I've never had a problem with anything killing those. But this is a Brandywine tomato, and you can see it's already got little fruits. So I'm gonna trim everything below these fruits down to the ground on the main stalk. So here's one. I'm gonna cut that straight off. Just chop and drop. Now pay attention, because some of these suckers, like this right here, they will have fruits on them. If you want to keep those fruits, don't trim it. Just leave it on there and trim below that level. Okay, so I hope this has helped somebody. You know, some of this is common knowledge to people. Some of this is brand new. Some people have never heard of this. This is just the way I manage my tomatoes for the year to have a really good crop. I will mention that all of my tomato plants are indeterminate. They're not determinate. That means they're gonna get super tall. They're gonna keep producing as long as they have what they need. So that's why I like to prune mine like there's no tomorrow. Like, that's super important for these, just for pest and disease resistance. If you have determinate plants, you can do the same thing, but you probably won't have to do it as seriously as I do it, because they're just not gonna get as big. But if y'all have any questions, just let me know and I will do my very best to answer them. I'm gonna be posting this on Facebook and TikTok, maybe YouTube, I'm not sure. But anyways, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and we will see you guys later.